Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over an updated wildcard draft for Game Week 5. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, let me know if you're wildcarding this week, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we have had a goalkeeper change. Turner is still the second goalkeeper at 4 mil. Again, potentially loses his spot to the new goalkeeper signing that Forest had just made, but as a Forest fan, I don't think he will. Like, he's not done anything wrong since he's been brought into the squad. He's actually performed really well. Of course, it will be competition, but I wouldn't worry about losing his spot anytime soon. Of course, if you did want to play it a little bit safer, you can just bring in Areola, who, of course, is also 4 mil. Of course, they don't have the best fixtures coming up at all. City, Liverpool and Newcastle in the next 4. Of course, that Sheffield United game is really nice, and if you do want to go with Leno and Areola, then you could just play Areola when he's got that Sheffield United at home game instead of Leno, who's got the Chelsea at home game. So it's not the worst kind of like double up at all, like Areola and Leno, but it's really one of those. Like, it's only a 0.1 difference between Turner and Flecken or Areola and Leno, because Leno has just gone up in price. So I don't actually mind this that much, because I guess after the Villa game, do West Ham's fixtures even get any much better? They do, to be fair. You know, you could be playing him at Everton at home, Brentford away. Yeah, so to be fair, this is actually quite a nice double up, actually. I don't actually mind this double up at all. I'd probably go for this instead now. Again, it is 0.1 more, but yeah, you just play Leno this week, and then you play him against Crystal Palace. You then play Areola with Sheffield United at home, and then you play Leno, who's got Sheffield United at home. So you get back-to-back Sheffield United at home fixtures, which is really nice. Obviously, Villa away and Spurs away, it is what it is. I'd probably go for Areola in that game week, but then after that, Areola has some really nice fixtures. So yeah, I don't mind this double up at all. It arguably could be a little bit better. Again, slightly pricey with that 0.1, but yeah, Leno and Areola are really nice double up there. And that's the goalkeepers. Moving into the back line, we do have Udogie, Estepinian, Chilwell, Cash, and Botman. So this hasn't changed too much. Obviously, we don't have Trent now in the back line. I've got, I think, 0.3 mil in the bank for this draft, so I can just make it. Again, you might be able to make it, you might not be able to make it. It depends. But yeah, Botman is in there just in case, like, he's fine. Like, if he's not fine, I feel like you do have to have a way into that Newcastle defense. But unfortunately, because I do only have 0.3 in the bank, it's not like I can play Share instead. Or Shah instead, which is a little bit unfortunate because he's like nailed and he's just a little bit more though at 5 mil. But hopefully Botman will be fine. Of course, we'll have to wait for news press conferences and stuff like that. The good thing about being on a wild card is you can make the transfer, and then obviously as long as there's no like price changes coming up, you can just wait until the press conference and then kind of retaliate to the information that comes out there. But Botman is a really good pick if he is fine, because he's 4.5 mil. He's an easy way into that Newcastle defense for all of these really good fixtures coming up. I've seen some people thinking about like doubling up on Newcastle defense. I think that's slightly risky. I don't think it's worth it. Obviously, Trippier is a really nice option as well, but at the same time, he is very expensive, and if they are not going to keep the clean sheets, which again they haven't been lately, yeah, it's a lot of money tied up into Trippier. But again, if you wanted to go Trippier instead, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I've gone Cash as well, who's now 4.7 mil. Again, really good fixtures coming up for Villa, and he's just getting so forward now. Emery is just giving him kind of free roam to just go forward and push, and he's just been scoring so many goals and stuff, and he should have really scored more as well. He's missed a couple of chances, but yeah, I think that Cash is a really nice option to have. Chilwell also in this draft. Again, Chilwell is a give or take. You could downgrade to a Colwell if you wanted to, just to save a little bit more money, especially with the Chilwell kind of risk that he is coming off on like the 60th minute now when they are losing. You know, when they're winning, then it's fine because he'll play the 90 or around 80 minutes and he'll get really forward and stuff. But when they are losing, just like they were losing in the Forest game, he does come off on like the 60th minute. He gets hooked early, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, still a really nice option, and Chelsea still have some good fixtures coming up. Again, Bournemouth this week, and then Fulham and Burnley as well in the next 4. So I do like Chilwell as an option, but again, you could downgrade to Cole if you did need the extra funds. Estepinian also in this draft. Again, fixtures are terrible. They do have Bournemouth at home next week, which is obviously very nice, but he's just in the draft because he's always got that attacking potential as well, and I just really like him as an option. Again, 5.1 is a bit for a player you might be benching a few times in the next few game weeks, but yeah, I mean, you don't have to go with him if you want, but if that Bournemouth home fixture does go well for him, you're going to be eating your words 100%. But again, you could get rid of him for like a City defender or something like that if you wanted to, but at the same time, that also does just create benching headaches, which are never fun, because if you've got a bench with like players with really good fixtures and then they go and pop off, it's really, really unfortunate. And then also Udogie as well, who's got Sheffield United at home this week. Of course, 2 bad fixtures coming up with Arsenal away and Liverpool at home. Again, you can just bench him for those fixtures. Like this week, you would just play Chilwell, Cash, and Udogie, and then next week you would play Estepinian, maybe Botman if he's fit, because obviously he's got that Sheffield United game, and then maybe Chilwell or Cash. I don't know, like it's one of those. They're playing each other, so it's which fixture would you like, which team are you back in, really. And then obviously the week after that you can change around, and then Udogie's obviously got good fixtures again after that. So I do really like this back line. Of course, there's no City defense in it, but you can bring in a City defender for Estepinian if you really wanted to. Going into midfield, we do have Son, Saka, Mbeumo, Bruno Fernandes, and Maddison. So I have actually tripled up on Spurs, and in my last wildcard draft video I said I don't think it's the greatest idea, but to be fair, it does kind of, it's not going to hurt too much as long as there's like no injuries and stuff in game week 5, because obviously you have Son and Maddison for Sheffield United at home this week, which is obviously a really nice fixture, arguably one of the best fixtures all season. And then you can just get rid of Son for Rashford, who obviously then has Burnley, Crystal Palace, Brentford and Sheffield United in the next 4. Now, I don't like locking in a transfer when you're on wildcard, because it just feels a little bit annoying, because you've just used all these transfers, you should be fine for a couple of weeks and then have 2 in the bank. But if you did, like, I would go Rashford probably on this draft straight off the bat, unless you wanted that Son at home to Sheffield United fixture. If he is going to play number 9, I think Son could very much go big this weekend. And so if that is the case and you don't want to miss out on those points and you are on a wild card, it might just be worth locking in the transfer just for Son, and then obviously get rid of him. Or you could, yeah, I mean, obviously you won't be able to get rid of Maddison because obviously you don't have the price. It'd have to be Son, but I feel like Maddison has to be a keep anyway. It's just so good. And if Son is on penalties as well, then he's obviously a really good option. But it's kind of like a 1-week punt. It is a bit knee-jerky after his hat-trick, but at the same time, Sheffield United at home, if he is playing in that number 9 position, then I think that he's going to be a huge option. So you could always lock that transfer in, but again, it's if you want to do that, really. Saka's also in the draft as well. Penalties, no problem there. Really good player. His numbers have been subpar so far this season. Hopefully they can kind of like sort themselves out soon, but I still think he's a really good option. And Mbeumo's in here as well, obviously on penalties, 6.8 mil, absolute golden FPL asset to have in your team. 90-minute man, everything goes through him. Incredible option to have. And then Bruno Fernandes also on penalties. His numbers are ridiculously good. Been very unlucky not to return more so far this season, but yeah, really nice option to have in your team. And again, United's fixtures are becoming very good after like the Brighton at home game. I know there's all the problems going off at United now, ownership, obviously the allegations and stuff, and all that going off, which is fair play. You know, it is a bit of a shambles of a club at the moment. Yeah, hopefully that all gets sorted out and it doesn't affect the football too much. But usually when there are things like that happening, it does kind of affect things on the pitch, because obviously the dressing room, like we've got the Sancho situation as well, dressing rooms all over the place. And then obviously Maddison, like I say, really good asset to have at 100%. So that's the midfield and the back line. Up top, we've got Morris, Julian Alvarez, and Haaland. Haaland speaks for himself. Don't really need to talk about him too much. Just an absolute unit, robot. Absolutely incredible FPL asset to have. Alvarez in there as well, just because of the fixtures coming up. I think if he's going to be starting, which he should be with De Bruyne out and stuff. And I know they have made signings and stuff on the right wing and everything, but I think it'll really affect Alvarez too much, and he should be fine, just carry on playing. I know the Champions League also starts too, which also is something else to take into consideration, but I still think he's a really nice option to have. And for that price point as well, if you did need to kind of offload him, there are other strikers around the 6 mil mark that are really good options as well, like Awoniyi as well for Forest. And I know that he does play Forest, and maybe people will look at that and be like, well, he's not a very good asset, but you know, he's returned in like every single game since like the last 7 or 8 Premier League games or something like that. So yeah, actually a really good option to have. So that's the 2 strikers. Then we've also got Morris as well. He's in here mainly just for the double game week coming up, obviously, which is a really nice double game week. And he's not got the worst fixtures either, like Fulham, Wolves, and then obviously the double game week coming up. So if you do have an unlucky injury and you do have to play Morris, it's not the end of the world. He's going to have a good fixture. So I do quite like this draft. I think it's a little bit more punty, but I think it's still like a nice draft. I do like that goalkeeper combination. I didn't really take a look at it too much until literally during this video, but I actually really like it. They do rotate very nicely with each other, barring that game against Villa and Spurs in that game week. But apart from that, they have really nice fixtures together. And then yeah, you can either decide to lock in or lock out the transfer from Son to Rashford. Again, you can just bring Rashford into this draft if you want to save the transfer. And then Estepinian could also become a City defender as well. I'd say Ake, but I think he's injured. Akanji, potentially a good shout. Obviously, I don't think you'd have the money for Diaz in this draft. Again, I wouldn't, but you might. So that could be another option. That's definitely the safest City defender. But yeah, that's going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Really, really appreciate it. I'll make an updated team selection after the international breaks and stuff. So we have like a better picture and I can proper sort out my like transfer and stuff like that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, like I say, drop a like, subscribe if you're brand new. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.